Hello there, this is David from David Books and Comics, and today I thought I'd go back and do a do-over of one of the series I collected way back in my young years. I must have been about 12 or 13 when I bought this book, this novel. And it's King Kung Fu, Son of the Flying Tiger. And it features some excellent cover art there by Barry Smith, and it's signed, as you can see, by his well-known signature. If you could look there, that's Barry Smith's signature. Anyway, Son of the Flying Tiger. All of the novels, there's a total of 7 novels. I believe the 8th novel, which is called Devil's Triangle, was never published. And the 8th novel, Devil's Triangle, according to what I read in the blog Glorious Trash, an excellent source of information about men's action-adventure novels. And if you look on the website, you'll see the comments. In the comments, you'll realize Thaddeus Tuleja is not the creator of King Kung Fu and Son of the Flying Tiger. It's another writer, a journeyman writer named Alexander Cedar, or Sandy Cedar III. He created the character, the Son of the Flying Tiger. It features our main protagonist, Chung Fei King, who was literally the son of a flying tiger fighter pilot. The Flying Tigers, where they have those kind of shark teeth on their airplanes. Anyway, the story looks into the back history of Lin Fong, and each of the books, all 7 books, has a preface, preamble, a short little short story that features Lin Fong in all his glory. The rest of the story tells the rest of the book will tell the story of Chung Fei King and how he became a master of Kung Fu taught by Lin Fong. Now, the thing about the King Kung Fu series is that it's straight men's action adventure, but it's also has elements of fantasy. And as the guy from Glorious Trash rightfully says, it has a kind of proto-Star Wars battle between the Sith and the Jedi, but this is more like the blue circle, represented by forces of good, and the red circle, which is represented by forces of evil. Now, there's elements, very strong elements of fantasy that run throughout this series, highly collectible series. You have to read the series, you should read the series as a whole. I enjoyed, when I was a 12, 13-year-old, I really enjoyed the first novel. I mean, it fit into what I was collecting way back then in Marvel Comics and in DC. All the martial art comics that I could get my hands on, including the old Charltons with Judo Master and so on. Anyway, this is King Kung Fu. This is the first novel. Beautiful cover art by none other than Barry Windsor Smith, the guy who gave us Conan. It's a painted cover, and you can look at it. This is a nice red copy, but still in good condition. And you can see there it was published by an unusual publisher, Freeway Press, Venus Freeway Press. And this is actually the first of their publications in paperback. So they were expecting great things, obviously, from the success of this series. The series, by all intents and purposes, probably did very well, because they did go 7 novels. This is the second book in the series. This is Return of the Opium Wars. And you can see, again, cover art by Barry Smith, painted cover, and 1973 publication date. And you can see the scars left by Chung Fei King when they had their final denouement battle there in, that's a spoiler, in the novels. So that's the second book in the series. The third book in the series is this one. And this is Rape of Sun Li Fong. And again, this is a very fine copy. Cover art, Barry Smith. Beautiful cover. Beautiful artistic looking cover. So like I said, the first 3 novels were written by Alexander Cedar. The next novel, that's this one, is the Kakabdullah Conspiracy. And again, it's a line drawing cover by, as by Marshall McCow, but really Thaddeus Tuleja, who lives, an American writer who lives in Texas. He wrote that 4th book in the series. It's a line drawing cover by Barry Smith. One of the scenes, and you see Chung Fei King, and you see the Kak Nan Tang would be this guy. And this is Chung Fei King's buddy in the novel. The next book in the series is, I believe, written by Thaddeus. Red Plague in Bolivia, I believe, is Thaddeus Tuleja. Because according to the crime encyclopedia, this book was not written by Alexander Cedar. The cover art there is Dick Giordano. I don't know if it says the name, but that's who that is. Yeah, it says right there, Giordano design canter. But that's Dick Giordano. That's his style. He's you see Chung Fei King in there with a kind of poncho. Let's see what year this was. This has been a few years later, a year later. Yeah, 74. So 1974. The next book in the series is New York Necromancy, or Necromancy. And the cover art here is obviously Dick Giordano. Yeah, it's signed there, Dick Giordano. And this is from 1974. The prologue, like I said, always features Lin Fong in all his glory, doing some major martial arts battles. Usually it's written in italics, except in the last book. Let's see. Yeah, no, this one is not. So it's kind of a short story. Let's see. Yeah, it's a short story usually that features Lin Fong in a martial arts story. And the last book in the series is written by Tuleja. This one was written by Alexander Cedar. And this one, with cover art by Christopher Achelleos, or Christos Achelleos, is Mark of the Vulture. And the scenes of the Christos Achelleos work are from the Bruce Lee martial arts movies. And you'll recognize this scene as a scene from Enter the Dragon. And that's Han, if you can remember the scene from Enter the Dragon. All right, so that's number 7, and that's the last book in the series. But the series was also published in other countries, and I'll show you those. The number one of King Kung Fu, published abroad, had a different cover, and I believe there was also a different cover that was published where they were published in Australia. They were also translated into Dutch, and I believe in the Dutch language there's a total of eight books published. From what I've seen, from the information I've looked at over the years online, on eBay, once in a while the Dutch books come up for sale. Anyway, so this is Kak Abdullah Conspiracy, and this one a Christos Achelleos cover. Beautiful cover, and you see the blue circle emblem there. At least that's what I imagined it to be. And this is Rape of Some Li Fong, and if you can look at the cover, that looks like a scene from Return of the Dragon with Bruce Lee in the fight with Chuck Norris. Anyway, that's Rape of Sun Li Fong by Marshall McCow. Cover art, Christos Achelleos, and of course it's signed. These books, when I find them, I grab them. And this is the second book in the series, and I wanted to show this last because I wanted to show this scene. This is a famous scene that Achelleos copied from Enter the Dragon. And the scene features, I don't know if he knew about it, but the scene features when Bruce Lee was going underground, releasing all those prisoners and that were captured underground in Hans Island. He comes across a bunch of fighters and a bunch of guards, and one of the guards is this guy, and there's a famous scene, a close-up scene of Bruce Lee with this character. And those of us who have researched martial arts movies know that that's Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee, and the only scene that they were ever shown on screen together. And I can show you a picture of it, and you can see for yourself. So that's Bruce Lee, painted by Achelleos, and Jackie Chan. Alright, so anyway, when I collected the series, I only collected the first 7 books. First 6 books, actually. The 7th book didn't come until much later. The series of books are a lot harder to find, unfortunately, but they're well worth the read. They do have some very unusual action with strong elements of fantasy, and written by journeyman writers for the most part, but very competent writers. So the stories are interesting. Like I said, as a 12-year-old, I enjoyed that first novel a lot, and I enjoyed it was above my. I read it as a teenager, a young teenager, and in terms of the text and the story, I mean, it features adult scenes, which made quite an impression upon me. But anyways, I thoroughly enjoyed the collecting and finding these books. There is, like I said, an 8th book in the series, and if you read the blog online published by Glorious Trash, you'll notice that Thaddeus Stalasia is still very much alive and living in Texas. And he did write the last book in the series, the 8th book. called The Devil's Triangle. I don't know if it was published in North America. It may have been published overseas. One other thing, and I'll just go through it. If you'll notice where these books were published, let me see here. Yeah. So this one was published in Israel, in Idridan Printing Works. Interesting enough. In this one, also Israel. And this one. Yeah, these were all published in Israel, in Tel Aviv. This one, of course, is the North American publication from 1974. And the reason I never got a number one of the King Kung Fu foreign edition is because they used the exact same cover as they used for number 7 in the foreign edition. All right, that's all I know about the King Kung Fu series. They're well worth collecting, well worth reading. They are a lot of fun. And like I said, the first novel reads like an origin story. It reads a lot like the origin story of Doctor Strange in Marvel Comics, created by Stan Lee and Steve Ditko, where you have the old one, the ancient one, raising two young students, one Stephen Strange and the other one Baron Mordo. One becomes evil and the other one basically fights and uses his powers for the good. So there's elements of fantasy, strong elements of fantasy in the King Kung Fu series throughout all 7 books. So I hope you enjoyed this look again into the King Kung Fu series, one of the series that I enjoyed collecting over the years. And like I say, if I find better copies, I always upgrade. All right, thanks everyone for watching. Thanks all for all the subscribers, and continue to and those who support the channel and those who make comments. That's always very appreciated. And I'll put links to some of my friends on YouTube who are regular contributors. So anyway, thanks everyone for watching. Okay, bye.